Trump announced yesterday and today that he's going to put more tariffs on all the goods that we receive from China. And the numbers are starting to get real big right now. China's also announced that if we put these tariffs, Trump's talking about 200 billion merchandise coming in on that, they're going to be putting more tariffs on our merchandise coming into China. The problem is we only send China about $550 billion a year. We get from China about $550 billion of merchandise each year. Now, and that covers everything, washing machines, everything, all the way down to baseball gloves, toys, whatever. But naturally, if we're putting a tariff on that merchandise, everything that our people buy will cost more. China's not going to reduce the prices. If something's cost $1, and Trump's talking about putting a 10% tariff on it now, and then 25% at the end of the year. So that'll make that dollar go to 125, and all of our people are going to have to pay more money, especially to fix up all these houses and this damage from these hurricanes. And the higher lumber costs. Lumber is going to go sky high, and they're saying now that the average price of a new single family home, with the increased prices in lumber, is going to increase the price of that home $6,388, and it's going to come out of your pocket. So you have to realize everything we get from China, and we get a lot of things, being that 10% now and 25% at the end of the year on 200 billion. Then China said they're going to put a tariff on us. But I don't know, we only send them 50 billion. I don't know how many tariffs they can put on that. But then Trump said if they do that, then he's going to put a tariff on the rest of the stuff that they send us, which is $267 billion, making the total imports from China $550 billion. Now, when these tariffs are put on, our people off the street are going to pay these. It's like I said before, anything you buy made in China, even a baseball glove for your kid, if it's $10 and there's 25% tariff, then that's going to cost you $12.50. And that $2.50 tariff will go to the United States government. But naturally, there are going to be all kind of things working, because China, I know, is thinking about making some of these things in other countries and let those countries send the stuff to the U.S. But all that takes time. You've got to build factories and everything else. But right now, we're talking about 10% to the end of the year, and then that tariff on 200 billion is going to 25% the first of the year. And if China hits us with tariffs coming back, I don't know how many times they can charge on this 50 billion that we send them. Then Trump's going to take the rest of their things that they send us, 267 billion, and a tariff's going on that. And that tariff, I think, will be another 25%. So what this comes down to, it sounds like a bunch of numbers, but all the people off the street, especially building houses, and they're, with all this damage from this hurricane, Florence, I know there are lots and lots of houses right now that are partially underwater, and all those things need replaced. Wood, sheetrock, this and that. Most of all those things come from China. So that's going to put the houses back in condition. If we can get them back, if you have flood insurance, you're going to have to add that 25% onto the normal costs of the merchandise. It's going up right now immediately. And it's funny that Trump come out with this in the middle of a hurricane, Florence, because there are a lot of people in this country that don't have flood insurance. And I don't think a lot of the banks require flood insurance. They require fire insurance on your mortgage. A lot of them don't require flood. And the other thing, it's my information that most of the flood insurance is written through the U.S. government, and that agency is in trouble right now. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, if people can go out and get flood insurance right now, I'd tell them to do it. But they're not going to get it. Not in the middle of this hurricane. And there are houses right now, there are pictures, if you watch television, you'll see the houses, the water comes up to the middle of the first floor. Now how do you get rid of all that water? I'm no building expert, but you got to get it out. You got to put all new floors, all new furniture, paint, sheetrock. I mean, in fact, there are going to be a lot of people walking away from houses where they don't have flood insurance. They'll go to the bank that has the mortgage and say, here, you take it back. And frankly, I don't think the banks will take it. Banks aren't going to spend $50,000 to fix a house where they have a mortgage of $100 on the house, and then they got to fix it and then resell it again. I don't know what's going to happen, but there are going to be some people called us, and there are going to be some houses that are going to be given away that's underwater in these flood zones. So those are things you can look at. If you can do work, you're going to be able to get those houses real cheap. The guy in them don't want it, and the bank don't want it, because the bank's not going to spend the money to fix them. They'd rather just take their mortgage and flip it, or give you the house for half the mortgage. Anything. Anyway, these things are going to come up in the immediate future, and I've already had people calling me to deal around the country, and they're talking about these zones in the United States that have been hit hard with this hurricane and these floodwaters. Thank you.